Yeah, I mean, just for both of you, I guess, Coach Day said there's a lot of celebrating going on in the locker room. Just what is, when you hear perfect regular season, going to the Big Ten title game, what's your first thought, what's your kind of emotions with that?
Yeah, I think Pat Coogan, before the games, told the offense a really motivating speech, and I think it really resonates with a lot of us. He said, what a great opportunity that we can go 12-0. Because everyone knew that we could go 12-0. No one was blind to it. One more game, perfect regular season, something that nobody in Indiana history has done. He's like, look at us, a bunch of misfits, guys from FCS, G5, JMU coming up, bunch of transfers, a bunch of rejects that got replaced with their old schools coming to Indiana. And now we have a chance to be 12-0, and now we are 12-0. So what a great opportunity with such a special group of guys. Like Coogan said, all the misfits from across the nation coming together and becoming 12-0 for the first time in Indiana Hoosiers history.
And I would just say, just the brotherhood, honestly. We go out there and we fight for one another every play, every down, every game. And this was a culmination of just all the hard work that we put in over the summer and, in the spring. And we were excited. And, Coach Sig said we'll celebrate it for the next 24 hours and then we'll be on to the next.
All right, we'll go to Zach and then Matt.
How do you allow yourself perspective on this? Because I know you're always thinking about what's next, and I understand you're going to be waiting to see who you play in Indy in 8 days. But do you as players allow yourselves that moment to just sort of say, hey, whatever we accomplish from here, we've made history, we've done something historic, we've done something exceptionally difficult, and we've done it together?
Yeah, I think there's definitely that moment, especially tonight, of wow, we're 12-0. I know that all the players on the team have the expectation to go 1-0 each week, but it all culminated together, like Rome said, is truly special to be 12-0. However, at the same point, it's such a good opportunity to be 12-0 because now I'm assuming we're in the Big Ten championship, and I'm assuming if we play well, then we get locked in for the college football playoff. And all of us, everybody on the team, coaches, support staff, players, we've all worked our entire lives to get to this point. So at this point, it's not like complacency, like, oh yeah, we're 12-0, great. We got to keep on going harder, and we got to train harder because this is just such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we have ahead of us.
Yeah, and like he said, just honestly, piggybacking off of him, we have a lot more that we feel like we can accomplish. So, we're being happy that we're in this situation, blessed by God to be where we are. But, ultimately, we want to keep doing it and we want to keep stacking wins. So we will channel the celebration to kind of put it forward to how we can be better and get to the next level.
Stay to the left with Matt Weaver, then Pete.
Roman, it seems like there's been a lot of runs this year where you've come close to breaking it. Like maybe one more missed tackle, and you finally got one tonight. You guys were in control 21-3, but right at the end of the first half, it seemed like that was kind of the knockout blow. Just how big was that run for you? And I guess how nice was it to finally get one of those big ones?
Oh yeah, it felt good. Honestly, I feel like I was that close a lot of times, and the offense bailed me out. You got a guy like this that can make every throw on the field, and we're always gonna find the end zone somehow. But for me to be able to get out of there and make it happen today or with my legs, it felt really good, and I think that was my career longest run. So building on that, going into the most meaningful football that I think I've ever played, it's a big confidence boost.
We'll stay second row on your left to Pete, and then Jeff.
Yeah, can both of you guys talk about the performance of the offensive line to give you the opportunity to do what you just did?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to the offensive line. At this point, it's around 7 working offensive linemen that are rotating in with the starting group. And I think it just speaks to not only the coaching of Coach Bostad, but also the leadership on the offensive line, how they're so in sync of one unit. And what makes them special is they're such a brotherhood and they're so dialed in with each other. The communication, the trust that they have with each other it's uncomparable. I think we had 500 yards of rushing today, or Coach Sig said that after in the locker room.
55 in rushing.
Yeah, which is incredible, and I think it speaks to the offensive line. Whenever I'm back there, it gives me an opportunity to go through my entire progression, and it's that comfort. And so I have comfort in the pocket, so I can do my job and try to be a point guard to get the ball to receivers, tight ends, and running backs. And it also just helps. The running backs so much as well. And it's just without the offensive line, we would not be 12-0. And they playing at such an elite level, and I think they don't get the credit they deserve. But without any of those 7 guys, say if you take even one puzzle away from the one piece away from the puzzle, then we're not 12-0. So those guys are so special and really have given it their all their season.
Yeah, and I would really just say, on top of what he said, just being able to plug and play. We had some banged up guys throughout the season, and we haven't missed a beat. And that's awesome. That's something that like a running back like myself really dreams of, being able to go out there and no matter what 5 guys are out there, they're going to do their job, and you know I got to do my job to kind of make it easier for them. And I would also say I want to give a shout out to our receivers. You know, they make the great plays catching the ball, but they block downfield really great today. You know, they made my job really easy once I got to the second level. And those are some of the things that kind of get overlooked when you look at the guys like Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper Jr., Charlie Becker. But they do the dirty work too. And I really appreciate them, and I don't want to miss out on that, because they did a really good job, and I wouldn't be where I was with the success today without them either.
We'll go Ravi, then Zach B.
Yeah, Roman, Signetti likes to say everybody gets up for week 1, week 2, maybe week 3, but it's hard to do it all year long. What drove you guys to the point 12-0 was something to cheat on?
I really just think it starts with the top. You say a guy like Coach Signetti, he knows what the winning formula is, and he instills that in everybody. So from him to the coaches around him, to the players, to the staff members, everybody has a mindset that we're going to try to go 1-0 every week, and no matter what we did in the past, it doesn't matter. So when we go back in there Monday and we have the team meeting, we'll chalk this up, we'll watch the film, we'll get over it, and we'll have the same mindset, hungry for another win. And I think that's just what helps us to kind of go through the season and not become complacent or not forget, what got us to where we are.
We'll go Zach B. and the last one to Joe.
Coach talked about tonight looking for improvement, and that being the biggest goal after the bye week, looking for you guys to improve tonight. How much of the focus of this game was on the improvement, result aside? How much was it on just the execution tonight?
I think it's a big game, especially being, the bucket game, and a lot of, animosity between the two teams, a lot of things built up within the rivalry. And so whenever you have a big game like that, or any big games you played in this past regular season, you can kind of get distracted and think about the bigger picture and think about the end result. But in reality, if you just take it play by play and have that good execution and focus on improvement every single play, then you have a better chance of success and better chance of winning. And that's what we all want to do. We all just wanted to win today and beat Purdue. And because we're able to look for improvement, look for each play as its own, and looking for an opportunity in each play to improve, we were able to win today.
And he kind of hit it right on the head. But I would say, not overlooking any opponent, because we play in the Big Ten. I feel like it's the toughest conference in the country. I'm a little biased, but I feel as though any given Saturday, any given week, things can happen, and we can't take an opponent lightly. So we want to trend in the right direction going into the postseason. So we were able to go out there and correct some of the things. And obviously we weren't perfect. We got to get on the film and figure out what we can correct to get better. But you always can pull good from a game. It's always something to learn from, and we'll keep pulling and keep working.
Last one in the back to Joe.
Fernando, I'm curious if this is the coldest game you've ever played in your college career, and how you're able to kind of adapt and utilize Roman and Jalen and also the offense and really put Purdue away.
Yeah, this is actually the coldest game that I've ever played in my career. And I don't know the exact temperature, but it was a little chilly. It gets a little chilly and warm. However, once you get out there and there's so much technology, especially with the benches and the hand warmers, it's just like a normal game throughout the entire game. But my job as a point guard and a leader of the offense is trying to facilitate the best way to get down the field. And when you have guys like Roman, KV, Kobe, and the elite offensive line in front of us, I think that it's just such a pleasure to just sit back there, not watch because I got to carry my fakes, but still, it's I hand it off. I'm like, wow, like honestly, I know it sounds like even the glory to God, because I'm like, wow, how amazing is this? I get to see these guys just run down the field and just kill the defense. And it's such an honor to be able to hand the ball off to these guys, all these running backs and running back room who played fantastic today. And yeah, it was cold in warm-ups, but so much running down the field, trying to chase all the running backs and their big runs, I got warmed up pretty quick.
Great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank God. God bless Hoosiers.
We'll have 8